This is a 2006 Ford F250 crew cab long bed that I have Cummins swapped about a year ago. Before I had this truck, this engine was originally in my 99 F250 Super Duty, and it's backed up with a 47 RE transmission. It's got a Anteater shift module from Firepunk. I really like the product. It works really well, and it's very easy to program. I'm pretty sure anyone can do it. The drive shafts are custom made. The back one, the front half was remade to fit for the Dodge side. And then the front one, I had to get that all remade because it had a special CV joint on it. That was about $450. The rear axle, the rear drive shaft was about $250 or so. We got it locally from Action Machine here in Indiana. The engine I rebuilt about 6 years ago. It's fire ringed, it's studded, it's got 191 delivery valves in it, it's got an H1E turbo, it's got a 4-inch all the way to the back, it's a 62 mil billet on the inlet side, and the exhaust side is a little bigger than 62. I got a dump truck exhaust manifold. I had to bore that out to make it fit on the H1E shaft. It's got the upgraded bearings in the turbo. It's, instead of one oil, it's 2 oil galleys in it now, so it can. The H1Cs had issues with oiling, and only had one little box in there. So this one has upgraded to 2, so we don't have to worry about any oil issues at higher spindle rate. I made in my 99. I went as cheap as I could. So what I did is I went on eBay and I bought a factory OEM Dodge TCM, and I bought a Dodge harness for the engine and transmission, which is one piece, and I plugged them all in like you would inside a Dodge. And there's a red wire that goes to the TCM. What I did is I only sent power to it from a separate fuse panel that I made that was dedicated to the Dodge side. So it actually shifted just like a factory Dodge would, instead of going to the RH. That's not electronical like the 47RE, but I heard a lot of people use the 47RE, but they manually shifted it, which, a lot of people told me, oh, you have to manually shift it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to manually shift it. I'm going to figure out how I can make this work like it was designed. So I bought all that, hooked it up, sent power to the TCM, and it shifted just like a Dodge. I mean, it was perfect. And I drove it like that for about 6 years. I overhauled the engine. Right when I transferred over to this, I actually overhauled the transmission in it. I upgraded the clutch packs in it. It takes more clutches. Put a billet input shaft on it. Put a deeper pan. And pretty much that's just about it. Well, billet torque converter too, can't forget that. And I modified the line pressure about 30 more pounds than the factory. I really do enjoy it. Just previously, I actually broke the servo lever off for the front band. Well, I never thought it was going to break because how thick it was, how thick the cast iron was. But no, it snapped clean off. As soon as it shifted into second, it instantly downshifted into first and just would not shift after that. So I took the pan off, I seen it laying down in there, I'm like, damn. So I took it to my work, I pulled the transmission out, and you slide the torque converter out, and then down at the bottom, it'd be the right hand side, you can get a 1/4 inch extension in there. You pull that cap off, and then you can actually slide that shaft out that goes to that lever. So I went out and I bought a billet lever, installed it all, hooked it up back in the truck. I went with a stock ratio lever because I know there's different ratios for the lever. So I did that, I drove it around, I was really pleased with it. I haven't any issues with it. In the winter time, the truck gets about 15 miles a gallon. In the summertime, I get about 18. Depends on, how much I keep my foot out. But that's no fun. Other than that, I love my Ford. I love my Cummins. I always like to do swaps like this. The AC does work in this. And I can give you a link to everything that I bought to make this truck become one. I went to a diesel conversion. I bought everything through them. I even called their hotline. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to do the Cummins with the Ford transmission, and they had some standalone modules for that. And I asked them about it. I was like, how reliable is this stuff? And you know, they were straightforward with me, like, oh, you're going to be tinkering with it more than anything, but it's still a good product. I'm like, well, I don't want to keep tinkering with it every day. Like, I just want to get in it, go to work, come home, or go anywhere I want without any hassle. So they recommended me Firepunk. So I went over to Firepunk. I called them and said, yeah, this is what you want. It was about $950, and I took the factory TV cable off, and they gave me a static lever. So the transmission line pressure is at full all the time because it pushed that lever all the way back. And the instructions for the Firepunk module is very straightforward, man. They go into every single detail. You don't have to scratch your head on anything. It's just straight to the point, and it's really nice and really easy to install, and I was really happy with that. Overall, what I would rate this build, I think anyone could do it, even with some help. You know, if you don't have the right equipment and stuff like that. I'd say about 3 out of 10, to be honest. But then again, a lot of people don't have a cherry picker or tools and stuff like that. But yeah, this swap was by far the easiest that I've ever done so far, and it's very well worth it. And then, you know, when you get into the performance on the Dodge side, the Cummins, I prefer to get EGT gauges, boost gauges, transmission temperature gauges, you know, all that kind of stuff where you can monitor the engine so you don't blow it up. I'm comfortable with doing about 1200 EGTs. I don't like to go anything over that because you're getting into that red zone of melting the piston down, because these are factory mount pistons that I put in 6 years ago, and they've been pretty good. They're not like any special coating on them. They're not even forged. And for what I do with it, I'm pretty happy with it. I know, like, the more higher end, like drag trucks and stuff like that, they have top of the line. But for what I have set up here, 60 pounds of boost is where I'm pretty much comfortable at. The twin turbo side, they do sell a twin turbo kit made just for a Cummins. And I'm going to show you some other videos of what I did to this. I will keep a link down below on where I sourced all the parts out. And, you know, it looks overwhelming with all the parts, but it's really not. It's a very easy installation. And to really bring a Ford alive, you need to put a Cummins in it. It's 12 valve, 24 valve, you name it. It's worth it a long shot. So this is my 1995 12 valve Cummins P pump. This is in my 2006 Ford F250. I did all this work myself. AC fully works. I added an additional fan to keep the high side down because it was running a little too hot. So it's got, I used the factory 6.0 harness for the batteries. I just modified them just a little bit. When it goes down to the starter, I actually cut it and shortened it a little bit, which is not a big deal. I had to make this right here to make it work. It was kind of fiddled up a little bit. I didn't really like it. And it's extremely close right here. So I actually ended up bending this panel up here just a little bit so this would clear. And then these are just auxiliary wires that came with the truck. This is my Anteater. This is a standalone shift module. I really like this product. I haven't had any issues with it. You know, it's dual batteries, obviously. AC. It's got the Dodge AC compressor that this is converted to fit behind it. So we're underneath the truck right now, and this is actually factory, but what I did is it would go in and go up a little bit and over, which I couldn't fit my stock Dodge on there for the transmission mount. So what I did is I actually ended up cutting it off about right here, and I ran 2 angle irons straight across, and I welded them, and I welded a flat piece of steel in the middle. So this actually fits just nice. There's enough room at the top and it doesn't hit the bottom of the cab or anything like that. This truck does have solid mounts besides this. This is a 4-inch exhaust, goes all the way to the back. And then this right here, this is the transmission temperature. I haven't hooked it up yet, but I do have the wire. I just need to feed it down here sometime. I've just been a little busy lately. But this would go internally on the Ford transmission that came in this originally. So what I did is I actually drilled a hole and I pressed a stainless steel sleeve in there, and I made it where this would actually lock into place. And obviously you see it don't leak. It's actually really tight to get in there. But that's what I did for the transmission temperature to, you know, make sure everything works right. And then, you know, I just a couple wirings over there that goes straight across. Nothing too big. I don't have my drive shaft in yet. I was thinking about buying a different T-case for it that's electronical shift, because right now this is mechanical. The truck came with an electronical one originally, but I do have all the levers and everything that will fit. You can see it right there. That's where the, you know, the lever would go for the 4-wheel drive, which, you know, this is hanging off right here. But the truck's not complete yet, but it does run and drive fairly well, and I'm very pleased with it. The front drive shaft is actually modified. I had to send it off to a drive shaft company. Over here we have, I believe it's Action Machine. They charged me like $450 for the front drive shaft to get that done. And then the rear one is also modified. The back half you see right here is original. But when it comes into this front half was all replaced to slide right into the Dodge side. So that's the only thing different. Then, you know, you gotta watch out for your carrier bearing. These things right here always vibrate when they go bad. That's like the most expensive one I could find. I haven't had any issues with it yet, and hopefully I don't have any issues soon. Other than that, this truck runs and drives very well. I'm pretty happy with it. This truck did sit since 2011, just until, you know, 2019 when I finally got it. I had a full tank of fuel for all those years, and I kind of bit the bullet on it, and I ran that whole tank, and surprisingly it was just fine. I thought it was gonna have, you know, water in it or something like that. I am using my factory 6.0 pump for the fuel, which works very well. I prefer that because I took the mechanical pump off a long time ago, and it works very well. Other than that, I can start it up and we can listen to what this thing sounds like. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe. Thanks.